Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're the hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every day, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can view all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues that affect you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
I call to order the meeting of the Finance Committee on January 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. First item of business is the approval of minutes. I'll need a motion on the minutes of January 14th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting.
I'll move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item is public appearances for non-agenda items. We have no one in chambers and no one online. So we can move on to item 4, Finance Director Report. Misty?
Thank you. Just 3 things to share today. So first, tax collection is continuing to go well. The due date is this Friday. The credit card acceptance on the website will be open until midnight on Friday. So if that's your preferred method to pay, you will have after hours up until midnight on the day that it's due to make that payment. We will then continue to collect for mail and things like that through the next couple of days, and we final everything out and send it to the county on Wednesday. So overall, it's going well. We were at $106 million as of yesterday. That's been flowing through the office. We also had settlement with all of the overlying jurisdictions since our last meeting, which also went really well. So overall, things are moving. Also working to close out 2024 and get ready for our audit. That'll be happening in early March. And then speaking of audit, we got notice yesterday that our audit report, our annual comprehensive financial report for 2023, was again awarded the Certificate of Achievement from the Government Finance Officers Association. So this is our 9th year in a row that we got it. That's it.
Congratulations. Can you say what the award is again?
So it's a Certificate of Achievement on our annual comprehensive financial report. And it's from the Government Finance Officers Association. Or the
Amazing.
COA on our ACFR from the GFOA.
Well, congratulations. No doubt that you would continue to get that because you all do an outstanding job.
Yeah, kudos to the team.
Yeah. Any comments or questions for Misty? Bill?
I guess just for clarification, you said the credit card options are open till midnight, all the online options, right? Or just credit card?
Yes, so credit card, but then also e-checks are
Okay.
through that as well. You're correct.
Okay. And then some questions about this Office of Management and Budget memo that came out yesterday. And if you have any comments about how this is going to affect the city and our residents, a couple projects that come to mind are Sign Road, where we're supposed to get several $1 million in federal funding for that. The Highway M underpass, the TAP grant there. There's Rimrock Road and M is scheduled for 2026. The bike path from McKee Road from Fish Hatchery to Seminole is supposed to rely on some sort of grant funding. And then the boardwalk connector along M to Southdale. Those are just some of the things that I was collecting here. whatever you can offer.
Yeah, so I think at this point, it's a lot of unknowns, right? So it did just get released yesterday. We don't exactly know what's specifically included in the pause, how long the pause is going to be, how fast it will be before programs are able to be no longer on pause because they do comply with the different rules that are coming out from the new administration. So I think there's just a lot of uncertainty at this point. But to your point, we do receive a fair amount of federal aid, mostly in our construction projects. And I know Tim will be able to speak later on in the agenda for that Sayene Road project. But our understanding is that because the project has already been let by the state, that money is not subject to being taken away. So should continue to go forward. Some of the other questions we have would be like Meals on Wheels. That's done through the senior center. They get the money from the county, but some of that money comes from the feds. What does that necessarily look like? We don't really know. Our COPS grant that we are awarded, we haven't hired those officers yet. So having this pause, if it is temporary, doesn't impact us significantly. But I think we just need to make sure we're aware of what's happening and then work with the federal agencies to make sure we get our programs authorized as quickly as we can.
And then, like on a more personal level, people who are on Medicaid or Section 8 housing or veterans benefits, I don't know, supposedly anything that's a direct payment to an individual is not part of this funding freeze, but I don't know what qualifies as direct payment to individual or which programs are which.
Yeah, so I'm not aware either. I've heard the same information that it's not direct payments. Those don't come through the city, so I don't know kind of how those are going to play out. But my understanding is the same as yours, that those wouldn't be affected. But again, we don't know until kind of some of these details are worked out.
I will add an injunction was granted today by a judge at about 5 o'clock Eastern time as well. Wait and see.
All right, seeing nothing else, we can move on to the review of bills. Item 5A, detailed review of checks for $10,000 and above from January 1 to 15, 2025, totaling $1,720,605.04. Comments or questions? Bill?
Yeah, I noticed the reference to the totaled squad car. Is that the one from last March, or is that a different one?
I will confirm, but I believe it's the one from last March that we're
Okay.
just now getting back in because there has been a delay in a lot of our equipment.
Right. I had one more note here. The 2 new vehicles on check 128026 to Ewalds. Are the vehicles getting outfitted in Resolution R1325, approving police squad equipment purchase? Is that's different? Yeah.
I am not sure, but I can find
Okay.
out. So you said check 128026 to Ewalds,
Yeah,
and you want to know if the equipment that we're purchasing tonight is for these 3 specific vehicles?
right.
Okay, I can find out.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Seeing nothing else, we can move on to review of bills 5B, detailed review of all checks issued, checks 128010 to 128088 from January 1 to 15, 2025, totaling $1,833,935.50. Comments or questions? Bill?
Yeah, I noticed we had some tuition reimbursement, so I'm glad people are taking advantage of that. Do we, in a given year, how many people are taking advantage of that program?
Yep. So the tuition reimbursements you're seeing on these checks are mostly, if not all, the fire interns. So Chief is here and can talk about that. I believe we have 6 or 7 of them on right now, and they are eligible for up to $3,000 a year as tuition reimbursement, meeting certain grades and having to certify that cost. That's also a tuition reimbursement available for other employees. I think in the 2025 budget, we have 2 that I can think of off the top of my head that are in the budget.
Anything else? All right. We can move on to 5C, detailed review of P-card transactions for $10,000 and above for the cycle ending December 6, 2024, totaling $146,765.94. Comments or questions? Seeing none, we can move on to 5D, review of P-card transactions for the cycle ending December 6, 2024, totaling $284,934.83. Comments or questions? All right, we can move on to action items. Item 6A. I'll need a motion on Resolution R0125, Fire Department 2025 Annual Fitchburg Verona Analog Tactical System Maintenance.
I move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Wheeler. I'll throw it over to our chief.
Yes, so this resolution is just that. It's our annual maintenance agreement with General Communications here in Fitchburg for the Fitchburg Analog Tactical System.
And this is that shared system between us and Verona?
Verona and Epic.
Verona and Epic.
Yep.
Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of Resolution R0125, say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks. Next item, 6B, Resolution R0425, amending the 2025 water utility budget for LTE plumber for large meter replacements.
I'll move approval of R0425.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer, and I'll send it to Tim.
Thank you. The Fitchburg water utility has started replacing all 1.5-inch and 2-inch meters with Badger ultrasonic meters. Per the Public Service Commission, the responsibility and cost of these replacements is with the utility, not the property owner, and must be completed by a master plumber. Hiring an LTE master plumber is a lower cost than hiring a plumbing contractor to complete the replacements and is also more efficient due to the LTE's experience this past year with installing approximately 225 meters. There are funds budgeted in the 2025 for the large meter replacement capital project that can be redirected towards the cost of an LTE master plumber completing the work. We're looking for authorization for the LTE master plumber for 300 hours in 2025.
Thank you, Tim. Questions or comments from the committee? It's pretty straightforward. Seeing none, we can take a vote. All in favor of R0425, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, resolution, I'll need a motion on Resolution R0525, awarding the contract for construction of South Cyene Road Reconstruction Phase 2.
I move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Wheeler. Tim.
The Fitchburg Common Council approved Resolution R14921, approving the typical section for the South Cyene Road Reconstruction Project from Aurora Avenue to West Clayton Road. Phase 2 of the project includes South Cyene Road from East Sherrill Parkway to West Clayton Road. The project was advertised in the Wisconsin State Journal on August 13th, 2024 and August 20th, 2024 and posted on questcdn.com. On August 21st, 2024, 5 electronic bids were received and opened. Parisi Construction LLC was the low bidder at $3,222,005.65 and were found to be in compliance with the bid specifications. The 2025-2034 capital improvements plan included overall sufficient funding for this project. However, a budget amendment is required to ensure adequate funding amounts from water and stormwater to cover the water and stormwater improvements. The Lacey Road reconstruction project is complete, and the costs for the water portion of the project were less than anticipated. And the scope of the project to upsize the Schumann stormwater has changed significantly due to Schumann Drive being in better condition than anticipated. So we're looking for approval from council to award the construction contract for South Cyene Road Phase 2 project to Parisi Construction in the amount of $3,544,206.22. This includes a 10% contingency. And then we're also looking for council to amend the 2025 water utility budget to redirect $136,165 from the Lacey Road reconstruction project to the South Saline Road reconstruction project. And then also amend the 2025 stormwater utility budget to redirect $602,100 from the Schumann Drive stormwater project to the South Saline Road reconstruction project.
Thank you, Tim. Exciting that we're finally moving to this phase of the project. Questions from the committee? Bill?
Yeah, so Tim, you said water and stormwater, but sanitary sewer is taken care of?
Yes, sanitary, what we had budgeted for sanitary came in under that amount from the bid.
Other questions? Do we expect, so the 8 million, what was I was reading? The total, do we anticipate we'll be able to stay within the total budget for this, including with both phases of the project once they're complete? Because 3 million.
Yes, right now.
Yeah.
Right now we are under budget for both phases.
Well, good job.
With how the bids came in.
Good job updating those estimates, because I know we were inaccurate for a very long time on this council, and it was quite interesting to watch. So it sounds like we finally know what things are going to cost, which is really great to see. So good work on that front.
I think I added up some of the numbers from the Board of Public Works meeting last night, the packet, and it was just over 7 million. Does that sound about right?
Yes, yeah. So we're about, I would say, 1 million, maybe a little less under budget for the remaining part of the project.
Great. Seeing no other questions, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R0525, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to 6D, I'll need a motion on resolution R0625, awarding the contract for engineering services for oversight of South Saline Road reconstruction phase 2.
I'll move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer. Tim?
So this is also for phase 2, and this is for the construction administration services during construction. So this is to hire the engineering consultant. So as previously mentioned, this project includes intersection improvements, traffic control, pavement marking and signing, erosion control, storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water main, and lighting. So construction oversight, including construction management, field inspection, and material sampling and tested, is needed for phase 2 of the South Saline Road reconstruction project. The Public Works Department annually advertises and requests proposals for general engineering services. 10 proposals were received back on February 5th, 2024 for general engineering services. Staff requested detailed proposals for the South Saline Road Phase 2 oversight from 3 of those firms that submitted on the general engineering services proposals back in February. 2 proposals were received and evaluated for this project and deemed Ruckert Milke the firm most qualified for this work. The 2025-2034 capital improvement plan includes sufficient funding for the oversight of the project. We're looking for approval from council to award the project to Ruckert Milke in the amount of $220,890 plus a $22,089 contingency amount.
Wonderful, thank you. Comments or questions? Pretty straightforward. Seeing nothing, we can go ahead and take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R0625, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 6E. I'll need a motion on resolution R0725, authorizing payments to Wisconsin Department of Transportation for South Saline Road reconstruction phase 3.
And move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Wheeler. Tim?
So this is phase 3 of the project, which includes reconstruction of the intersection of Cyene Road and McCoy Road. So Resolution R100-22, the City of Fitchburg approved a state municipal agreement with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation to fund up to $1,710,000 towards the construction of the intersection. On August 13th, 2024, WisDOT received 9 bids for the construction work of this project. Rock Road Companies was the low bidder at $2,563,590.07. WisDOT will handle the construction management and inspection of this project through a consultant. The 2025-2034 capital improvement plan includes sufficient funding for this project. We're looking for council to approve the construction oversight and inspection of this project to WisDOT, and then looking for council to also accept the award of the construction project to Rock Road Company, and then also authorize the payments to WisDOT for the construction and construction oversight in the amount of $1,596,153.44. And that includes a 10% contingency. So the amount the city owes WisDOT would be for the ineligible expenses for the project, and then also the grant was an 80-20 grant, so it'd be the city's 20% contribution towards that. So with that, does anyone have any questions?
Questions from the committee? I see nothing down here, Tim, so we can go ahead and take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R0725, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6F, I'll need a motion on Resolution R0825, accepting an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Dane County for paving the Capital City Trail trailhead parking lot.
I move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer. Tim, will you take this one too?
Yes, so this is an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Dane County. The city owns and maintains Cyene Road and has determined it necessary for public purpose to reconstruct Cyene Road from West Clayton to north of McCoy Road. The county owns and maintains the Capital City Trail and the associated trailhead parking lot located to the northwest of the Cyene Road-McCoy Road intersection. So the Capital City Trail and trailhead parking lot driveway are required to be relocated as part of this project to provide safer access for pedestrians, bicyclists, and vehicular traffic through the Cyene Road-McCoy Road intersection. Both the city and the county determined it beneficial to incorporate paving the existing gravel parking lot as part of the project due to economies of scale. The city will be responsible for paying the costs associated with abandoning the existing trail and relocating the new trail north of the parking lot. The county will be responsible for paying for the costs associated with paving the existing gravel parking lot. So we're looking for council to accept the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Dane County for paving the Capital City Trail trailhead parking lot.
Thank you, Tim. Comments or questions from the committee? Bill?
Just a clarification from a discussion at the Board of Public Works meeting. The county will remain responsible for long-term maintenance. So even though the city is picking up the cost for relocating the trail, the county is responsible going forward for the maintenance.
Good to know. Seeing nothing else, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R0825, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6G, I'll need a motion on Resolution R1025, amending the 2025 general fund budget for LTE police staffing.
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Wheeler. Captain Hartwick?
Thank you. This is a request to continue the strategy we've used with great success over the last year of using salary savings to fund 2 part-time LTE positions, primarily to assist with our records, requests, typing reports, and managing our digital evidence.
That's great. Thank you for doing that. Do we anticipate you'll be able to continue on the employment of people you currently have?
Yes, we'd be using the two, both of them have retired from our department and have come back to bring their expertise.
Oh, outstanding.
Back to us, yeah.
That's even better. Other questions? Bill?
I think at the department presentations, one of the things Nick Joseph said was that he was looking for ways to incorporate AI to kind of lighten up our load. Is there any possibility that some of this stuff could potentially be automated?
We are watching and monitoring the ever-expanding field of AI and its use. We have seen some presentations from vendors that are looking to incorporate into our existing vendors some solutions that could potentially address at least some of our video. And then we're also looking at some vendors that are out there as it relates to report writing as well, and managing some of those typing tasks and associated tasks. But it's a very evolving field, and we're not quite ready to jump in there yet.
I've seen some pretty weird videos on the internet, and I would hope that we could automate the redaction of body cam footage at some point in the very near future.
Anything else? Seeing nothing, we can go ahead and take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R1025, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6H, I'll need a motion on Resolution R1125, approving 2025 yard waste grinding services.
I move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer. Who is taking this one? Tim?
Yes. The city of Fitchburg contracts out yard waste grinding services to process yard waste that has been dropped off at the recycling facility. The ground material is then windrowed as compost. The wood chips and compost are made available to Fitchburg residents and also used for city projects. Urban Forest Services, LLC, will honor their 2024 rate of $450 per hour for yard waste grinding in 2025. The 2025 operating budget included $30,000 for yard waste grinding. So we're looking for authorization from council for the purchase of grinding services from Urban Forest Services, LLC, and authorizes an amount not to exceed $29,700 for the purpose of yard waste grinding as outlined in the pre-approval.
Great. Same rate. That's wonderful. Comments or questions? We can go ahead and take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R1125, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 6I. I'll need a motion on Resolution R1325, approving police squad equipment purchase.
I move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Wheeler. Captain McCarthy?
Yes, we have two squads that recently came in, so this is the equipment for each. One is going to be an overhead light bar type car, and the other one, you'll see the quote is a little bit different. That is an interior light bar. Otherwise, all the equipment is the same.
All right. So these are squads, so they have the
Yes.
full
package.
Full package. Comments or questions? Bill?
There was one line item near the top. It said to add a license plate reader is going to cost an additional $1,100 just in labor. Is that accurate?
That's a boilerplate piece they put on all of our quotes, letting us know that if we choose to put a license plate reader on any of these cars, they're going to charge another $1,000, but that does not apply to either of these two.
Oh, okay. Just out of my curiosity, what does that entail? Because I mean, like current generation smartphones, you pull up a photo and an option is extract text from photo. I mean,
Oh, no, these are, the LPR systems are quite large. I mean, there's what you get 3 or 4 cameras. They have to be fixed to different positions on the squad itself. There's a whole hardware component to it, and they got to route all the cabling from the outside of the car back to where the computer is, and that's what they believe that rate is.
all right.
10 to 15 weeks to arrive?
Typically, yeah,
Oh,
from the
gosh.
date of order. So tomorrow I'll contact GenCom and request that, and based on the timelines of the manufacturers and the vendors that they use, it takes about that long to get the equipment in.
Gosh, is there any way that we can do this so that approvals can happen, so that if you guys know a vehicle is coming, we can get you like pre-approval to make the order, so to compress the timeline? I don't know, is there any way to do that, or is this just how it has to be?
So part of the problem is that there wasn't money within the replacement fund to make this purchase in 2024. We needed that 2025 money to roll on. Depending on the timing of other things, that could be an option since we have replacement funds, but it's all dependent on how much cash is available.
Okay. It could be great to try to make that happen, because I know you all have been waiting on this for a long time already, right?
Yeah, I believe these two vehicles were ordered last March, and we got them, I think, last month. So here we are. Once the equipment gets in, then we still have to wait to get on GenCom's install calendar, which is another unknown timeline, but they're getting backed up just like many other industries are. So it could be a while till we see these vehicles on the street.
Wow. Wow.
And do you get a heads up on how far in advance do you know when the cars will arrive? Because that's only going to help your
We
situation
usually
with
get an
GenCom,
email
right?
about 5 days before
gosh.
they take delivery. So the factory sends our wherever buy the cars from, an email indicating that, hey, the VINs are now created, so they're on the production line, and then can you take the cars next week? That's about as much advance notice as we ever get.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Sounds like they need Nick Joseph to apply a little AI as well.
Anything else? Great. Seeing nothing, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R1325, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks to both of our
Thank you all.
captains for joining us. Next item, resolution 6J. I'll need a motion on resolution R1425, authorizing legal services in the defense of Franklin Square Condos Fiduciary Real Estate Development, FRED, Elon Valley View, LLC, excessive tax assessment lawsuit.
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Jetzer. Who's going to
I can take it.
All right.
So this is actually a retroactive approval. In 2024, there was this assessment claim lawsuit. We thought at the time that the attorney cost to defend us would be less than $25,000. Turned out to be a little bit more than $25,000. So that's why we're coming to you. However, we were successful in this lawsuit, so that money was well spent, but we do need to follow our purchasing requirements.
Sounds good. Other comments, questions? Seeing nothing, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R1425, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, I'm getting lost. 6K, resolution R1525, approving 2025 to 2028 help desk software renewal. Can I get a motion?
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Wheeler.
I'll take this one as well.
All right.
So this is a renewal of our existing help desk software, but it's coming to you because we would like to have a multi-year contract in order to get some cost savings by locking it in for those couple of years. So once we do that, it goes over the $25,000 and is over multiple budgets.
Got it.
Did we get a motion on that one? I'm sorry. I
We
didn't write
did.
it down.
Alder Wheeler.
Thank you.
Comments or questions? Bill?
So this is like what it says 2025 to 2028. So is this like a 4-year thing then, or is it full 4 years?
Yep.
Okay.
So, well, it's 3 years.
Well,
So
25,
it's
6, 7, and
mid-years.
8.
Yep, so it's
Yeah.
mid-year. So 25 to 26 is just shy of 10 grand, 26 to 27,
Okay.
27, 28. So it's not 4 full calendar years, it's 3 rolling calendar years.
Okay.
So that would be seen on the pre-approval on page 201. You can see the amount by year.
Anything else? Seeing nothing, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R1525, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 6L. I'll need a motion on resolution R1625, authorizing payment to Axley Brynlson LLP for outside legal services in 2025.
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Jetzer.
I'll take this one also.
right.
So this is one of those annual pre-approvals that we bring to you at the beginning of the year, just to streamline our processes throughout the rest of the year. So Axley is our long-established labor attorney, so they help us with various labor issues and also including negotiations. So getting permission to continue with that vendor for those purposes.
Sounds great. Any questions? Bill?
So then when you actually need to pay, you can just go ahead and do that, and it never needs to come before finance again unless you exceed the dollar amount listed here.
Yes, but you will still see it when we cut the checks. So you'll see it kind of on the back
Sure.
end. We don't have to come again before we make the purchase, correct?
Right, okay.
Do we typically hit this amount?
Not often. You never know what employment issues in particular might pop up, and we know negotiations are continuing into 2025, so hopefully not, but that is the amount that we budget each year.
Got it. Seeing no other questions, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R1625, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, 6M. I'll need a motion on Resolution R1725, amending the 2025 Affordable Housing Fund budget, housing intern to update and analyze the Fitchburg fee schedule and related policies.
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Wheeler. And Mike?
Yes.
Economic
Thank you,
Development
Chair
Director.
Gerhardt.
Yes.
We're looking to amend the 2025 affordable housing budget for $3,000 to get authorization from the council, not only for the budget amendment, but also then to post for an internship position for the spring semester. The scope of the work for the internship would be to update the fee structure in the 2019 Fitchburg Housing Plan, and then also to kind of survey peer communities in the region, the Milwaukee area, the Twin Cities, in the Chicago area, as far as their policies related to fees for affordable workforce and senior housing. So that would be kind of the scope of work. And this would be an important component of what will come later in the year, and that will be a full update to the 2019 Fitchburg Housing Plan. So this kind of fits in and incorporates within that, but it allows us to get a start. And if we get council support and authorization, we would post the internship already tomorrow for a week, and then see what applicants we get, and hopefully we could move forward with them to start the work kind of the second half of in February, and then go through May.
Outstanding.
And one other thing I should add is right now it's an amendment for the Affordable Housing Fund. The goal here is to get a grant from the Realtors Association for $3,000. We've got an application in for that. We think we've got a good chance to get that to cover this amount, but it would be, in the event that we don't, it would be backstopped by our Affordable Housing Fund.
Fantastic. Do we anticipate this will be like an undergrad, a grad student? Do we know what kind of the pool for interns is?
Kind of what would you call it, a senior level undergrad or grad student?
Nice.
Yeah,
and
so
we have,
kind of junior, senior grad.
Great. And we have some great UW professors that do urban planning that probably have students that would be a good fit.
Yeah, yeah. And we're not just limited to UW as far as our posting. You know, the applicants might come from outside of that, but that would be one of the areas specifically that the posting will be at. And we've already been in contact with them. We're all hopefully ready to go, not to be presumptuous, but if again, we get support, we don't want to waste any time, and we would proceed with the posting.
Where's this being posted?
It would be through the La Follette Institute and the UW,
Gotcha.
you know, there, and then working with the HR, Fitchburg HR, as far as where we post other positions. And once we post it, we can share it with council members too. If there's, you know, other areas that you'd like to share it with, or networks too, feel free to help get the word out.
That'd be wonderful.
So this information, you know, in the housing document it's all the information for Fitchburg, Madison, Verona, Sun Prairie, et cetera. Can we coordinate with all the other municipalities to have somebody set up like a shared spreadsheet so that everybody's got access to it and each city can update their numbers so that this isn't like a chore in future years? Yeah,
I guess that's a good suggestion. You know, maybe it's something we can talk to our colleagues at Dane County with the regional housing strategies, because it might feed into that for it. So we can offer that suggestion and idea. Thank you.
And to get a sense of the fee schedule, like are we talking about park fees and impact fees and things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay.
As well as application fees and, other impact fees, outside of parks as well.
Got it. Anything else? Bill?
Slight tangent here, but I'm just wondering, as a general rule throughout the city, county, what fraction of developers are able to dedicate the required parkland rather than paying the in lieu fee? I'm just curious to, what sort of a breakdown is that?
I guess I don't have that off the top of my head. At this point, we'd have to really probably look into that, and see what that percentage or numbers, would be. Yeah, we'd have to check with our planning colleagues, park colleagues, and then also finance as far as the fee in lieu of that's come in.
I think it would vary by development. I mean, if you're doing like Highfield Reserve, for instance, where you have, 20, 30, 40, 100 acres that you're planning and developing, you certainly have more capability of meeting or willing to meet the land dedication requirements than paying the fee. But if you're a project that's using a 2-acre site or 3-acre site or whatever the case may be, you're probably not going to be able to meet that in land dedication and still make your project viable economically. So those smaller sited projects are probably more than likely just paying the fee in lieu of.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we had a handle on, obviously Highfield Reserve versus Bowman Plaza.
Yeah.
All right, seeing nothing else, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of resolution R1725, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mike. Moving on to 6N, resolution R2125, 2025 Payment Service Network PSN fees.
I'll move approval.
Motion to approve by Alder Jetzer. Misty?
Yep. Another one of those annual pre-approvals. So in the utility billing function, people are able to pay their utility bill through PSN, either by credit card or by e-check. There's a fee associated with that, but the utility absorbs that fee through ratepayers. So this is that annual pre-approval in order to make that payment to PSN to provide that service and absorb those fees.
So without this service, people would have to basically write a check and mail it in?
So we still have other options too. So yes, obviously that people could still come in and pay in person. We also have a city-driven ACH program. So you could provide a voided check to the city and we will automatically deduct out of your checking account on the due date what your bill amount is. And that one is no fee to the city and no fee to the customer, which is a great program, one that we try to advertise more so. PSN is an option for people that want to pay by credit card or if they want more control over when that payment is made. So they can log in and do it whenever they want to. They could set it up monthly or quarterly or whatever kind of payment schedule. So there's more flexibility there, but then of course there's a cost to have that flexibility. And at this point, the utility absorbs that cost rather than passing it on to the customer.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor of resolution R2125, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And then brings it to 6O. I'll need a motion on resolution R2225, acceptance of Burn Memorial JAG Violence Reduction Analyst Grant, and this is a direct referral.
I move approval.
Motion approved by Alder Wheeler. Captain Hartwick.
Thank you again. For over the last 2 years, we have been at the forefront of a program with the U.S. Attorney's Office and several other law enforcement agencies within Dane County, focusing on reducing gun violence in Dane County. We have been successful from the investigative side of the equation. However, we have identified as a group that one of the components that's lacking is a comprehensive review of the data, not only from our agency, but all agencies within Dane County, not only law enforcement agencies, but other service providers that are out there working in the world of violence prevention. And through our work and successes that we've had, we were approached about a grant opportunity late last year that would fund a contracted analyst that would work with our group to provide several data products that the ultimate goal would be to reduce the impacts of gun violence within Dane County, bringing together data sets from multiple law enforcement agencies and other sources to help us have more focused work. And so what we're seeking, I believe, tonight here is the acceptance, the ability to accept the grant, and then move forward in our work in finding a contract and an analyst that would work with our group.
That's incredible. Congratulations. Questions? Bill?
Yeah, so this is another pot of federal money. So I guess we wait and see, right?
Is it the Wisconsin Department of Justice, though?
So the Wisconsin Department of Justice is administering the funds. They are federal funds. However, in conversation with our contact today, the stance of the Wisconsin Department of Justice is that they are planning on moving forward with these projects and awaiting further guidance as things progress here in the near future.
And in terms of your partners you're working with, is it Dane County and other municipalities? Like, what does that partnership look like?
Yeah, so it's the larger municipalities in Dane County, obviously including the city of Madison, the sheriff's office, is city of Sun Prairie, Middleton, obviously Fitchburg, and then we have some other law enforcement partners, both at the state and federal level, that contribute as it relates to the conversation on gun violence.
That's awesome. Love to see that collaboration. Seeing no other questions, we can take it to a vote. All in favor of Resolution R2225, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next item is 7, announcements. 7A, next finance meeting is February 11th, 2025. Anything else? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alder Jetzer. He wins. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:46 p.m. Thank you.